Investigator Mario Diaz has the emails laying out how it all came together.
Mayor, what is your relationship with Marvin Agumagu?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a simple question for Mayor Sylvester Turner. Simple, but important. Because Marvin Agumagu is someone Mayor Turner knows and has taken care of. Signing off on a $95,000 a year internship for Agumagu at the airport last fall. That's right, $95,000 a year with benefits for an internship. Before we lay out how it happened, let's show you how the mayor and Marvin are connected. Personnel records show Agumagu was a City Hall intern. He also worked in the office of Lake Council member Larry Green. Photos and videos reveal Agumagu had insider access.
Marvin from Nigeria, also on my staff, working at the airport system.
Here's Agumagu next to the mayor at a charity basketball game. There's Mayor Turner, the rapper Drake, and Agumagu, handing Drake a city honor on the mayor's cue. During the Astros World Series parade, Agumagu was yards away from the mayor, working with his staff along the parade route, and steps away from the mayor at City Hall for the celebration. Agumagu also was listed as a guest of Mayor Turner at a banquet honoring the late Texans owner Bob McNair. But Agumagu was looking to land something bigger. On September 12, 2018, months after his previous internship with the city ended, he wrote to Andy Icken, the city's chief development officer, a key member of the mayor's inner circle. Per Mayor Turner's request, I am sending you my resume for your review. Icken forwards the email to Airport Director Mario Diaz, asking point blank, could you develop a position? 5 words, key to what we uncovered. Could you develop a position? Emails Channel 2 Investigates obtained clearly show a plan was hatched with 2 city directors specifically developing a position for Agumagu. On September 19th, Agumagu received a verbal offer. Director Diaz, writing Icken, I offered him a 1-year internship to work directly for me. Icken's response? Good approach. And the approach, developing a one-of-a-kind internship out of thin air, is key. Because around the same time, Mayor Turner was telling the public the city didn't have money to hire employees.
I have imposed a hiring freeze.
The mayor ordered the freeze on September 24th, stating all departments will suspend hiring.
My case is based on the facts and the costs.
But on October 4th, Director Diaz sends Mayor Turner this letter touting Agumagu as the first candidate for the newly created Executive Intern Program. The internship will give Mr. Agumagu the opportunity to gain valuable applied experience, Diaz wrote. There is one incredible perk not listed in the letter, but that Channel 2 Investigates uncovered. Once the 12 to 18-month internship wraps up, Agumagu, not his boss Diaz, but Agumagu the intern, decides if he's coming on board full-time. In the very same letter from Diaz to the mayor, Agumagu hits the jackpot. Diaz writes to Mayor Turner, based on the responsibilities, needs, and demands of the job, he's requesting annual pay of $95,000 a year, the salary equivalent of a senior staff analyst. Suddenly, the intern is making more than other veteran airport employees with more experience. Let's recap. Marvin Agumagu has history with the mayor and City Hall. He needs a job. Per the mayor's request, Agumagu emails one of the mayor's top guys. That guy then emails the airport director, who in turn creates a gem of a gig just for Agumagu, an internship that pays a whopping $95,000 a year with public dollars from the Enterprise Fund used for special projects out here at the airport. Conveniently, that fund is not at all impacted by the hiring freeze.
It's shocking to me that they're trying to pass this off as a true internship.
Todd Slobin is a Houston-based employment attorney.
Fundamentally, this is not how internships work.
I don't know what this particular intern was doing, but it must be really important.
Buck Wood is viewed by many as the foremost political ethics expert in Texas.
If a member of city council, the mayor, let's say, wants to call somebody and say, look, our department, and say, I really would like for y'all to consider this person, that's not illegal.
How does it smell, though, when it's a $95,000 a year internship?
Well, that puts a different light on it.
Per Mayor Turner's request is how this all began. Mayor Turner's signature officially sealed the sweetheart deal weeks later, which brings us back to one key question.
What makes Marvin Agumagu so special that Mayor Turner created this nearly $100,000 a year internship for him?
There's got to be something, and I think the mayor's the only person who knows the answer to that question.
Mayor, what is your relationship with Marvin Agumagu?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mayor, you have no idea who Marvin Agumagu is?
I have no idea.
You created an internship for Marvin Agumagu last year, sir, that pays $95,000 a year. Here's the document, sir. Here is your signature right here. Mayor Turner, we'd love to talk to you about this internship that pays $95,000 a year that you created for someone you say you have no idea who I'm talking about. Now, most won't blame Marvin Agumagu for taking this sweetheart deal. He was, after all, encouraged to reach out by Mayor Turner. The mayor's spokesperson says Agumagu's internship is coming to an end and a new candidate will be chosen for the role. However, we do not know if Agumagu will stay on at the airport. Now, we did reach out to Agumagu. We have not heard back.
Every investigation is a journey. This one starts right here.
Nice little day, isn't it?
You're about to see an introduction, handshake, and a lightning-fast denial.
I'm with KPRC Channel 2 in Houston, NBC.
Okay.
Is it possible we can take our cameras into the facility here?
Oh, no, they don't do any photography inside.
This is not a top-secret government facility. It's the tiny town of Hearne, Texas, a speck on the map 2.5 hours northwest of Houston. Not much action in town, but there's plenty of business behind the tall fencing at the local airport.
They're really strict about cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps it's because the government does not want you to see what Sky 2 captured early one Saturday morning in January. FEMA trailers designated for use after Hurricane Harvey. Dozens upon dozens lined up, ready to be sold at massive discounts. Units deployed after the storm. But Channel 2 Investigates discovered some are brand new, never been lived in, and the feds are selling them to the highest bidder.
I say FEMA, you say?
I'm not allowed to say that. I don't want to say that word.
Anita Shiflett nearly lost everything in Harvey. Her family qualified for FEMA housing, a government contractor informing them they had room for a manufactured housing unit.
There was no question, no problem. And then we get the RV.
Instead of a manufactured home, they received this 28-foot travel trailer.
As soon as they brought that trailer here, we were fighting.
Battling for one of FEMA's MHU units.
They promised it, but they gave it to somebody else.
So imagine her reaction when we showed her what we discovered on the federally owned GSA Auctions website.
We're 10 minutes away from the closing bid on a 2018 manufactured home in Hearne.
Wow.
For weeks, Channel 2 Investigates monitored the auction of FEMA trailers. The vast majority, 2017 and 2018 models. Units with unwrapped new furniture. Opening bids, $100.
I bought it from the FEMA sale.
Donnie Ganaway met us days after picking up his new purchase in Hearne.
I think I got this trailer for $19,244.
Inside of Donnie's 2018 Southern Energy model, we found a sparkling new oven, an immaculate fridge with paperwork still inside, even an activation tag in the smoke alarm. There were new drawers, spotless carpet, and a mattress still wrapped in plastic. Most revealing, documents detailing a manufacture date months after Harvey.
It's amazing. I can't explain it, but they have their way of doing things, and why, I don't know.
The state says FEMA's reimbursing them nearly $45,000 for units like this one. The federal agency admits to Channel 2 Investigates their average is $64,500 when they buy the units, with some topping out at $70,000. And let's not forget, Donnie bought his never-lived-in trailer at auction for just over $19,000.
Were you surprised that you got it?
I was excited.
FEMA admits it periodically sells surplus housing units, adding that manufactured homes that were never occupied but stored for several years begin to fail with time. And keep in mind, some trailers are like new and stored for less than a year. The message from Anita and Donnie, a simple one.
We're going to need them again. These areas are going to flood again.
I would save them and reuse them.
Now, there are two congressional rookies who campaigned hard on Harvey issues. Both have legislative oversight over FEMA. Representatives Dan Crenshaw and Lizzie Fletcher. We informed their offices of our findings, but both failed to accommodate us for a formal interview. We hope to sit down with them in the near future. Commissioner Rodney Ellis is a fixture in Houston politics.
Get the other health-related dollars.
A familiar face at Commissioner's Court as well as around town, according to this. His latest campaign finance report.
I go overboard on making sure I disclose not only what's required, but give as much detail as I can.
Ellis's campaign finance report from July to December of last year is 268 pages long. And when you compare it to his commission colleagues, as you can see here, Ellis overwhelms them. Ellis has a robust campaign war chest, and even though he is not up for re-election until 2020, he is spending campaign funds like he is in the middle of a tight race. Do you have any campaign offices at this time?
No.
Do you have any staff?
No staff.
Have you officially launched?
No, I have not.
Channel 2 Investigates found Ellis buying campaign phone services, storage, even a campaign computer from Best Buy on Christmas Eve. If he can't buy in person, Ellis goes online. If you have no campaign office, sir, what are you purchasing on Amazon?
You know, I'd have to go and look and see.
A total of 17 purchases via Amazon for supplies or equipment. And he's shopping at grocery stores too. 8 purchases alone at this Whole Foods in Upper Kirby. Ellis says he uses his campaign funds to supplement his county office expenses.
Hey, look, I just did lunch with my staff today. Now,
you do plenty of lunches, by the way.
We paid for it all for the campaign, but if I'm eating with my staff members, arguably I could charge that to the office, but why get criticized for that?
Ellis is quick to point out he is not using taxpayer money, but it's not his own money either. The funds come from campaign donors, money to help him get reelected. But let's not forget, have you officially launched?
No, I have not.
But he has a campaign vehicle, a Cadillac Escalade. Records show it made 27 visits to Mr. Car Wash on Kirby between July and December of last year.
Hey, we put in a lot of miles.
Thousands of miles in the air as well. Last September, Ellis spent more than $10,000 from campaign funds for business class flights and a Ritz-Carlton stay in Barcelona, Spain for an oil and gas conference. When the conference wrapped, Ellis then took a cross-country trip to Sevilla to learn about bikes. You said you were in Sevilla for bike infrastructure.
Yes.
But what's fascinating is that on your campaign report, you said you were at the Gas Tech conference.
Well, I did both.
Gas Tech conference is here in Barcelona. Sevilla is 618 miles away, sir.
Yeah, so what are you looking at here?
The conference is over. I'm looking at your report. The trip was charged to the campaign for over $1,200 in transportation and hotel costs. Remember, Ellis admits the trip was non-campaign related.
When I went to Sevilla, a good part of it, maybe most of it, I probably paid for. I may have charged for a meal or something else.
This whole thing is credit card expenditures.
Bay Scoggin is with the government watchdog Texas Public Interest Research Group.
Look, I'm not going to lie to you, this stinks.
The state's election code has statutes that say politicians cannot use campaign contributions for personal use. And Rice political science professor Mark Jones says it appears that is exactly what Ellis is doing.
It would appear that Rodney Ellis is using some of his campaign funds to fund things that most people would consider to be personal expenses.
Ellis says in his mind, the spending is justified and the expenses are legal.
If I'm flying on my personal business, I'm going to fly business class if it's international.
And you'll use the dollars that other people gave you to do so.
Yeah.
Ellis also admits his campaign vehicle, a Cadillac Escalade, has a monthly lease of $1,700 or $1,800. Ellis says he pays 25% of that lease out of his own pocket. The rest is paid for by the campaign and the county. That's right. Harris County taxpayers are also paying for his campaign vehicle.